Hello, people. I am Jaby KOAY, joined by STEPH.
Hello.
What up, bruh? We're looking at VENDHU THANINDHATHU KAADU official trailer. You can laugh now. Go ahead. Let's get you to laugh. Go ahead. Sure.
So you said it like you were introducing the most serious action film ever. I was like, whoa.
It's an Rahman musical, and it is directed by Gautham, Vasudev, Menon, written by Madhan. So anyway, I apologize for any names I mispronounced. My apologies. If you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications. Pretty please vote this up. Let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. Here we go. Ugh. You see that? Is Pinky?
No.
It was cut off.
Ew. Sorry.
உச்சிக்கு போக போக தனிமை ஆள் இல்லாத மலை சிகரத்துல தன்னந்தனியா நின்னுட்டு இருக்கிற மாதிரி.
எசகி பரோட்டா கடை இதானே?
ஆமா. ஆனா யாரா இருந்தாலும் காசு கொடுத்தாதான் தீனி.
ஆனா ஒவ்வொரு நிமிஷமும் தீயில எரிஞ்சு அங்க வந்து சேர வேண்டியிருக்கு. மனுஷனுங்களை அடிச்சுட்டு போற காத்து ஏதுன்னு யாராலையும் சொல்ல முடியறதில்ல. எல்லாரும் பறந்துட்டு இருக்காங்க. And kill or die.
அண்ணே எல்லாரையும் கொன்னுருவேன்.
கொன்னர்க்கியா?
என்னால கொல்லவே முடியாது. எனக்கு அடுத்தது நீதான் தலைவன்னு சொன்னா என்ன கொல்லுவியா?
எல்லா தொழிலையும் அதுதான். Kill or be killed. It's a mad dance. இங்க கிளம்புறதுக்கும் போய் சேர்றதுக்கும் சம்பந்தமே இல்லை. அதுக்கு பேர் தான் விதியா.
இங்க இருந்து போக முடியுமா?
ஒவ்வொருத்தரும் தப்பியோட தான் முயற்சி பண்றாங்க. எப்படியாவது எங்கேயாவது போயிடணும்னு துடிக்கிறாங்க. ஆனா தப்ப முயற்சி பண்ணா இன்னும் ஆழமா மாட்டிக்கிறாங்க.
சரியா சொல்ல போனா நீ அவருக்கு பாதுகாப்பு கிடையாது, அவர் தான் உனக்கு பாதுகாப்பு.
Jesus. Like he didn't even know his own power in that moment.
இதுல கதையே கிடையாது. என்ன அது வாழ்க்கை, அர்த்தம் இருக்குன்னா இருக்கு, இல்லைன்னா இல்லை. ஆனா இவனை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் இது வெறும் விளையாட்டு, வேற ஒன்றும் இல்லை.
இங்க இருந்து யாரும் போக முடியாதானே?
இங்க பாரு, நீ இங்க எந்த பெரிய விஷயத்துலையும் ஈடுபடலன்னு வையே, உனக்கு ஒண்ணுமே தெரியலன்னு வையே, தப்பிச்சு போனா ஒருவேளை விட்டுருவாங்க.
திக்கத்தவங்க கூட தெய்வம் இருக்கும்.
தெய்வம் இல்லைன்னா பேய்.
Oh wow.
Part 1.
இவனுக்கு முடிவெப்பு இல்லை, தொடரும்.
Damn.
Wow, interesting. I think it's so ambitious when you start out with part 1.
Yeah.
It's like fully expecting that people will come and watch, and then you'll have to see part 2. You know, Dune came out the gate saying, you know, part 1. And I'm like, so you are like confident that this is gonna make money because like this is an expensive ass movie. Obviously, this is a different budget and everything, but still, it's
and
like
different IP.
Yeah.
But I agree. Like some of my criticism with Star Wars and all the movies we're seeing in America now, it's like they're banking on a trilogy, and some stories don't need to be a trilogy or multiple parts, or just accomplish the first one and see how it goes.
Yeah.
See how it's received.
I think with this kind of movie, it's okay to do that because the budget doesn't feel as crazy as something like Star Wars. It's more of a smaller story, even though you're dealing with like for them it's like huge, but you're dealing with the underbelly of society in this particular area of India, and I think it's interesting to have like multiple stories within that.
Yeah, it definitely looks smaller scale.
At its heart, we're dealing with a guy who is sort of trapped in this world, in this environment, and it seems like he has a lot of heart, and that's what sort of propels him to the top somehow, because he ends up dealing with some of the top dogs in this underworld at some point somehow. He doesn't have that sort of anti-hero vibe about him. He looks like a good dude who's just sort of born in this environment, you know what I mean? He's just got to do what he has to do to survive. There's like this sort of pseudo-religious element to it, or there's like not spiritual, but like, I wouldn't say overtones, but like references. Like they talked about God at one point, and then at the end it literally says go to hell. And it's like that was a deliberate choice to like have that come in right after she says God stands with those who are lost. Don't know what that's about, don't know how it factors in, but I wonder if there's going to be any sort of Christian references in this movie, because there is like a certain section of India that is very, very Christian idealistically.
Yeah, I agree with you though on like how he looked when he first came onto screen. He had an extremely unassuming lead character look, which I kind of dig, and I was wondering where it was gonna go, and I still am kind of confused, but I get the overall tone. It was giving kind of Scarface type vibes, like in the underground, which I liked, and I'm curious how he's gonna. What like his motives are for climbing that sort of ladder.
I would imagine it's to take care of your family at the end of the day. And it's funny you mentioned Scarface because I was thinking Al Pacino, but for Godfather. Because, I mean, have you seen Godfather?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, Al Pacino, Michael Corleone, wanted nothing to do with that world. He was sort of pulled into it just by necessity. He had to be part of that world. And it looks like that's sort of what's going on here is it's like he didn't want this, but he's working with the cards he was dealt, you know, as best as he can. And he finds himself, you know, climbing this ladder of awfulness and dealing with these different individuals, these different folks. And it's almost like leveling up, you know, both in terms of himself, character-wise, and in terms of like the world he's in. He's getting I would imagine he's getting a following of some kind of people who are like supporters of him and whatever. And he ends up in this leader position accidentally. It's sort of what I'm getting from this. Like you were confused. I think that's by design.
Yeah.
Because this is a regional, some people don't like when I say that, but it's easier to say regional to distinguish it from Bollywood for us. And so this is a regional film, and oftentimes I find with the regional Indian films, and you've heard me say this a million times, the trailers are a little bit more ambiguous. And what you got from this is what you get, which is the tone, right?
Yeah, definitely. Killed or be killed.
Exactly.
Kill or be killed.
Killer.
Killed or be killed.
Killed or be killed. But what I like about this was, I mean, they had some moments in there where they were like emphasizing the violence, but it didn't go too over the top with it, because I've seen a lot of regional Indian trailers where it's like they are really like the violence is the punch of the trailer like the entire time. And here it ended on a unexpected note with the mom, like where she's like, you know, she said something about God, you know, stays with those who are lost. That's where the trailer kind of ended before it showed us the super villain of the film. And I thought that was interesting. Both in the States and in India, there's like this sort of build up for that denouement point, right? Where it's like this climactic point of the trailer and then smash the title. Whereas here it was kind of like, it did all that at the front and then it sort of tapered off to an emotional thing. Most people have like that sort of emotional connection with their family, especially like their mom. And I think that's what it was sort of locking us in with.
Yeah, that he has some sort of anchoring that's outside of the world that we have been seeing in the rest of the trailer.
Yeah. So it's interesting stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction and discussion. Do subscribe, bell icon, all notifications, and vote this up, please. I'm Jaby KOAY. This is
STEPH.
Peace out.